Welcome back to our series on perfect English grammar. This is Volume 1, Chapter 2. We're going to be getting into a little bit more advanced grammar structure as well as more in-depth words that you may find, a little bit more complicated words that you may find on the TOEFL or SAT exam based on the list of over 500 words, common words that appeared, and also we're going to be very focused on concentrating on their synonyms. As you improve your vocabulary with this series, we suggest that you follow a study technique called the shuffle. And here's just an example. This is actually using standard index cards, and you have the definition on one side of the index card, and then on the other side, you'll have the synonym, and we're going to go over the synonyms of each of the words that we present here, because a lot of times the synonym will actually appear on the exam versus the actual word. So you'll be prepared going forward as you increase your vocabulary with this video series, and do make sure that you catch the previous modules to or previous chapters to this volume. And as we completely increase the volume, then you'll also increase your vocabulary, and also your strengthen and fine tune your grammatical skills. All right, so we're actually going to get started. We're going to be taking a look at simple past as well as parallelism. These are general grammatical rules, starting with simple past. This grammar rule is used to express an action that is started and it was finished at a specific time in the past. So we're looking at Joshua swam in the river, or Sally enjoyed her lunch. Parallelism is a grammar rule that is actually used to clarify matching or continuing grammar structures within a sentence, and at the same time maintaining the balance of the different elements of nouns, verbs, adjectives, and so forth within a sentence. And as an example, I enjoy baseball more than I enjoy football. So you can actually see that there's a balance of nouns and also verbs. With respect to other elements of English grammar, we're going to take a look at present perfect as well as pronoun references. And as we get further into the more complex rules of grammar, we're going to start spending a lot more time looking at examples as far as putting them into practice, because practice makes perfect. And as you increase your index cards with synonyms as well as definitions, and you continually shuffle through them throughout the day, that is going to reinforce memory going into the TOEFL and SAT SAT exams. If we take a look at present perfect, this is a grammar rule that's used to clarify an action that happened at a time unknown before now. So, for example, he has always spoken Spanish, versus, or we have he spoke to her once before. So this clarifies an action that happened at a time unknown before now. Our fourth grammar rule we're going to cover today is pronoun reference. This grammar rule clarifies how a pronoun will take the place of a noun, and the noun is clearly specified. So, for example, when the boy's mother called to speak to the principal, the boy was clearly upset. So you can actually see the clarification of the pronoun as well as it taking the place of a noun, and the noun is clearly specified. Our next set of grammar rules we're going to look at is called reported speech and passive voice. With respect to reported speech, it's a grammar rule that allows you to report what other people think or say in the form of indirect speech. For example, she said she had participated in the protest, or she said she was going to take a college class. So this is actually reported speech, which is used very common to convey what other people think or clearly state indirect forms of speech, whether it be in a paragraph. And this is very common on the TOEFL and SAT score as far as conveying opinions of other people with respect to analysis of a paragraph. And our sixth English grammar rule that we're going to look at today is passive voice. Grammar rule that is a formal structure of clarifying that an action was completed and by whom, with less emphasis on how and who completed the action. So, for example, the island was visited by 15 tourists. So it clarifies that the action is completed, but less emphasis on who actually completed it, but it was completed. This task was completed 7 hours ago, clarifying the action was completed, but there's less emphasis on how and who actually completed the action. With respect to taking a look at these 12 words that we're going to focus on for this chapter 2 in volume 1, let's start with acute. Acute is actually meaning sharply perceptive or of a short duration. Common synonym, and as we go through each of these words, it's important for you to write down the synonym. Synonym for acute would possibly be intense, whereas an adjective would be acutely, or a noun would be acuteness. Usage would be the president was acutely aware of the hostage situation. You will actually see this type of word actually used commonly in words to incite the fact that perception of a very intense action being completed. Our next word is autonomous. And in this state, it's being used. The people of this island deserve an autonomous government. Adjective meaning by itself or run on its own without any intervention. With respect to the synonym, you would actually see that it's common to be referred to as independent with a synonym, and an adverb would be autonomously. So the people of this island deserve an autonomous government, and remember to that synonym would be independent. Our next word that we're going to focus on is coherent. In the usage, the man's alibi was coherent with what other people said. In this case, synonym would be logical. Adverb coherently, or verb cohere, or a noun coherence or cohesion. And once again, a synonym would be logical. So logically consistent or presented with clarity would be the word associations with this word coherent. When we take a look at our next set, which is defy, we can actually see that defy will actually mean that for usage, the new president decided to defy the existing constitution. So in this case, it was a verb, meaning to challenge or denounce faith or confidence. A synonym that is very common with the word defy is resist, and an adverb would be defyingly, or an adjective would be defying. So the meaning here, once again, is to challenge or denounce faith or confidence. And the new president decided to defy the existing constitution. Fallacious usage. The waitress refused to agree with the customer's fallacious conclusion that his vegetarian soup contained pieces of raw beef. In this case, add an adjective meaning to have errors. A synonym would be incorrect. So it has to do with making sure that you understand that this is erroneous whenever it's referred to actually describing another word, you'll actually see it referring to being erroneous. And fine, usage. The, the criminal was confident in his feigned account of the event. Verb, meaning to pretend or assert as if true. With respect to the synonym, you're looking at pretend or simulate. Uh, Basically, with this word, find, to make, believe, assert as if true, or an adjective, find. Looking at our next set of words, this is our third set. Exports, extinguish, haphazardly. You may have seen these words before. They're more common on the older TOEFL and SAT exams, but the synonyms can be a little bit tricky, so it's important for you to correlate the relationship between the actual word and its synonym. In this case, exports. Criminals work hard to limit exports from war-torn regions. Noun, meaning foreign sales or products sold abroad. Exports in this case, a synonym would be foreign sales. An adjective, exported. Verb, export. Or noun, products sold abroad. When we look at extinguish, the usage, the judge will extinguish crime in the public school system. Verb, meaning to bring to an end or cause to stop. One of the synonyms that we saw that was very common would be the word terminate, and an adjective would be extinguishable. So remember that extinguish means to bring to an end or cause to stop. Haphazardly can be a little bit tricky. Its synonym is carelessly, and adverb, end with a plan or arbitrarily, and or a noun could be haphazardness. The meaning, to end or cease without order or plan in place. The usage here in this case, the sheriff haphazardly ended the search for the girl's body. So that should be the sheriff haphazardly ended the search of the girl's body. So as we take a look at these 12 words, it's important to remember that these words and their synonyms may appear on your exams in different forms. If we look at the final set of the 12, the three of the 12 that we're going to be reflecting on today, we see instigate, recompense, as well as streamline. And instigate, the usage, the girl instigated the fight to earn the respect of her peers. Verb, meaning to cause a conflict or an argument. Instigated, to start or cause a conflict. It's usually used as far as a very harsh way of initiating an argument. As far as usage is concerned in everyday language, instigate, a synonym that you should associate with the word instigate would be initiate, and a noun would be instigator or adjective, instigative, or adverb, instigatively. With respect to recompense usage, the jury voted for $2 million settlement as a recompense, meaning a form of compensation or repayment. Synonym would be a compensation or reimburse, or a noun would be repayment. Streamline, the usage. The operations manager decided to streamline the factory. Verb, to make more efficient. Streamline. The operations manager decided to streamline the factory. So as you put together your shuffle cards, streamline should be associated with the synonym of simplify or modernize. And an adjective would be streamlined, or could also mean to update. So we hope that this chapter was very, very helpful for you. As we go further into this series, we're going to be looking at a lot more examples, how these actual grammar rules and skill rules will impact your ability to put together paragraphs as well as sentences, and being able to comprehend them as you read paragraphs on the different sections of the TOEFL as well as the SAT exam. We hope that these chapters are very beneficial for you. Definitely hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of our next chapter release. And as we continue to release more chapters, your vocabulary will improve and you'll be able to fine tune your grammar skills in preparation for the TOEFL and the SAT exam. And good luck to you, and thank you for tuning into Bio News Network and our latest chapter release of Perfect English Grammar. Have a great day.